Seeing this photo show up on my For You page instantly made me think of this photo. So let's talk about it. So this photo was taken in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963 during the Birmingham campaign. This is one of those kind of like seminal events in the civil rights era. So for context, Birmingham was considered, at least by Dr. King, to be the most segregated city in the country. And one of the reasons why Dr. King and other members of the SCLC and other civil rights groups, one of the reasons why they chose Birmingham as the place to specifically protest segregation was because they had an incredibly racist, militant sheriff, Bull Connor. Actually, sorry, he wasn't sheriff, he was the Commissioner of Public Safety, which is both vague and incredibly ironic. I think the Birmingham campaign is also like a good opportunity to talk about nonviolent resistance and how it is not a passive act, right? This is something Dr. King had to really educate and like convince a lot of Black activists that like it's not passive, it's not weak to say I'm not going to respond with violence. It's actually the most courageous thing that you can do, right? Because you're not just going to go about your day and if a police officer happens to harass you or whatever, well, I'm not going to respond violently. No, it means you are going to put yourself in the way of that police officer, right? You are going to go sit in a restaurant where you're not allowed to be. You're going to go walk down a street where you know there's like police lining it just waiting, and you know that police are going to come. And actually, if you're in the civil rights movement, you're kind of hoping that the other side is going to overreact. You're hoping that Bull Connor and the Birmingham police are going to respond with violence, because that's what you need to escalate the movement to a broader audience, to go outside of just Birmingham. And the campaign was having kind of mild success, but it was still mostly isolated to like Birmingham and the South. But it was this event, which was part of the Children's Crusade, that launched it into the national spotlight. Something that I don't think I ever quite realized is that this person being attacked by the dog is 15 years old. He's a high school student. So when they were running out of volunteers who were able to kind of like go every day and march on behalf of integration, right? James Bevel, another leader of the movement, had this idea of like, well, why don't we get kids involved? He went to schools, he educated them on nonviolent resistance, he educated them and he kind of trained them on like, here's how you're going to do this. Obviously, it was like only kids who volunteered and whatever. And so what they would do is like each day they would take kind of 50 kids who would just kind of march from one area down to, I think, City Hall in Birmingham, like requesting to speak with the mayor. Even more ironic is that this kid, Walter Gadsden, wasn't even part of the protest. He was just trying to kind of get through the town. So this photo goes viral, as they say, right? It ends up above the fold on the front page of the New York Times. It goes front page of all these different newspapers all around the world, and it really puts a lot of pressure on LBJ and the federal government to do something. The other event in the end of the summer in September is, of course, the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing that killed 4 young girls. But we can link these actions, the Birmingham campaign and the church bombing, almost directly to the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.